I'm Shaymar Higgs, Executive Director of the Space Free Art for All, right here in Beltway Plaza Mall, where sharing positive artistic and creative energy is right in our name. Today we have what we call like our Food Explorer program. And in celebration of Juneteenth, we have two events going on. You can come here and make a flag, like a family flag, make a flag just to represent yourself, and we're going to hang that up in the mall. In exchange of that, we'll give you an art kit to go home and make some more things. And then we also have like our Food Explorer program, as I mentioned. We have like we call it Sugar What, and it's just like a representation of how much sugar we actually consume throughout the day. And we have a couple of our typical juices and typical drinks that we have, from ginger ale to some iced tea to yogurt, like just showing how much sugar we consume, and that literally like most of those, it's like one container is all of the sugar that you need an entire day. And so we are making, you probably saw, we're making a little flavored water with strawberry, cucumber, and mint. And just to show that you can have all the sugar, you can have all the flavor without having all the extra and added sugars. Like in celebration of Juneteenth, we're having conversation with the community about like why Juneteenth is important, and then the representation of flags. As an artist, like symbolism and representation is extremely important. So like why not make a flag that represents yourself or represent your family? And again, have it hanging up here in the mall to show all your friends and family like how cool you are. Yeah, there are many events happening throughout the city. Like I said, we're having an event here in the mall. We're also over at the Three Sisters Garden or the Spring Hill Lake Rec Center, and we're going to be doing the same exact thing. And then what I'm really excited about is the pop-up Black Artifact Museum that's happening. And I have a couple of my collectibles in there as well. So I'm really excited about the city coming together and actually celebrating Juneteenth, and just reminding each other, reminding everyone that this day is extremely important for our history in America.
On Saturday, June 19th at the Spring Hill Lake Recreation Center Gymnasium, Regina's Black Artifacts Pop-Up Museum was available for anyone to walk through from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. during the Greenbelt Juneteenth activities. The exhibit was structured to be traversed from the right, beginning with slavery, all the way to the left, ending with Barack Obama's presidency and the election of Vice President Kamala Harris. The first panel explains Juneteenth to those attending the exhibit. Juneteenth is a holiday celebrated on the 19th of June to commemorate the emancipation of enslaved African Americans in the United States. The holiday was first celebrated in Galveston, Texas, where on that date in 1865, in the aftermath of the Civil War, slaves were declared free under the terms of the 1862 Emancipation Proclamation. The exhibit includes information about slavery, historical figurines and the stories of the people they represent, a section dedicated to Black inventors and the important tools and devices they created. Now and then gives some perspective on the way objects looked when they were first used versus what they look like today. The historical section shows the portraits and stories of Black people who had a significant and important impact on our history. A section dedicated to the history and influence of Black music, as well as Black literature in the section called Books and Magazines. A section for Black art and Black caricatures, the Civil Rights Movement, historically Black colleges and universities, and the last section featuring the presidency of Barack Obama as well as the vice presidency of Kamala Harris. This was a brief overview of the museum. In order to see the full exhibit with all of the information and artifacts, keep your eyes out for the next announcement for Regina's Black Artifacts Pop-Up Museum.
In order to talk about the park itself, we have to talk about how it all started. So the city of Greenbelt was started by Franklin D. Roosevelt. It was part of his resettlement administration plan. And so he wanted to create 3 cities: Green Hill, Ohio, Greendale, Wisconsin, and Greenbelt, Maryland. Greenbelt, Maryland was the only city that was fully completed in 1937.
The goal of the project was to employ as many local laborers as possible. The project had over 5,700 workers to complete the project. Very near this spot is where Franklin Delano Roosevelt and Rex Tugwell were reviewing the plans for for this lake and for the entire city. You can see this photo here of FDR and Tugwell in their car right on top of this dam right here. So the first record of any movement towards desegregation like that was in 1963 in the Greenbelt News Review. There was advertised for a equal housing group, community group that wanted to push for equal housing in the city of Greenbelt. And it wasn't until 1967 that the Greenbelt City Council voted and said that apartment complexes and apartment buildings in the city of Greenbelt could no longer discriminate based on race. And so it was in the late 60s, early 70s that the first African-American residents started to move into the city of Greenbelt.
One, two, three.
Juneteenth! Okay, so we're going to bring up Lois.
Good job.
Dr. Rosado, please. Dr. Lois.
I am Dr. Lois Rosado. I co-chair the Black History and Culture Committee along with Leanne Irwin. And it is because today is Juneteenth and we're all celebrating the 156th anniversary. It's appropriate for us to remember our ancestors. So I'm just going to drop a few drops of water to thank our ancestors for surviving the Black Holocaust so that we can all be here together to celebrate life and to keep moving. So on behalf of our ancestors, I thank you for your sacrifice. I thank you for your strength, your tenacity, and I ask you to look down on us today and just bring us all together in hope so that all people that live in the United States of America can celebrate freedom as we are doing today for Juneteenth.
June 19th, 1865. General Gordon Granger delivered that news in Galveston, Texas, and as we look back on that moment, it is so beautiful that we're celebrating this event here today. It is also so beautiful that in the United States of America, just 2 days ago, the United States government, both the Senate, the House, and the President, finally took the step of recognizing this as a federal holiday. All I want to make sure that I say today is that we ask ourselves the question, are we interested in Juneteenth or are we committed to Juneteenth?
The story goes something like this.
Yeah.
The three sisters were actually, three indigenous people, three sisters who loved each other very much, but they were very different. But when they all got together and worked together, they supported one another and made everything
Working
stronger.
together works.
So the symbolism of three sisters in the city of Greenbelt, it's a powerful symbolism. Because you got Greenbelt West, you got Greenbelt East, you got the center, you got a lot of neighborhoods. But when we all kind of come together and work together as one, we're much stronger.
All right. This way a little bit. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Thank you. With that said, thank you.